The Enigmatic Curse of Busby Stoop, a tale of dark history and haunting mysteries. Nestled in the tranquil landscapes of North Yorkshire, just west of the picturesque market town of Thirsk, renowned for the literary legacy of James Herriot's vet stories, resides an eerie relic that whispers of a bygone era of crime and tragedy. The infamous Busby Stoop chair, currently suspended upon a wall within a North Yorkshire museum, carries with it a shadowy legacy intertwined with the notorious murder of Daniel O'Wetty in 1702. Is this a lingering curse from the distant past? Standing in the shadows of Thirsk, the once prominent Busby Stoop Inn holds a grim history that stretches from the summer of 1702 to the present day. This inn, known for its role in the illicit coining business and tales of treachery, once stood a mere stone's throw away from the charming town that inspired the tales of James Herriot. During the late 17th century, Daniel O'Wetty, a coin clipper and forger, sought refuge in the quiet hamlet of Kirby Wisk, a few miles distant from the Busby Stoop Inn. There, hidden from prying eyes, he continued his nefarious operations of clipping the king's gold sovereigns. Establishing a farm on the outskirts, he named it Danotty Hall, a nod to his own name. The hall, perched atop a gentle slope, provided an ideal vantage point against unexpected visitors and intruders. O'Wetty extended the hall, crafting a concealed room connected by a covert passage from the underground cellar. A solid oak door on the western side concealed a secret compartment, behind which lay a stout square iron bar. This hefty iron bar, stretching over 4 feet, slumbered within a concealed recess on the left wall just behind the oak door. Should unwelcome visitors approach, the iron bar could be slid across the door's back, securing it to a hole on the right-hand side wall. Local man Thomas Busby joined forces with his father-in-law O'Wetty in the illicit coining enterprise at the hall. Reports suggest Busby, a brawler and inebriate, returned home one fateful day to find O'Wetty seated in his favorite chair. A quarrel ensued, leading to O'Wetty's ejection. Legend claims that O'Wetty threatened to take his daughter Elizabeth away from Busby and return her to Danotty Hall. The ensuing night witnessed a horrific event. Thomas Busby, driven by rage, bludgeoned Daniel O'Wetty to death with a hammer. Concealing the lifeless body amidst the nearby woodland, Busby's sinister deed was exposed when O'Wetty failed to reappear. A search ensued, revealing O'Wetty's corpse and culminating in the apprehension of Thomas Busby. At York Assizes in 1702, Busby was tried, condemned, and hanged. His lifeless body was immersed in pitch and suspended within a gibbet, a macabre display positioned opposite a coaching inn on the crossroads of the old Great North Road leading to Thirsk. Legend adds a chilling twist. As Thomas Busby marched toward his grim fate, he supposedly cursed anyone who dared occupy his chair. Thus, the inn transformed into the Busby Stoop Inn, with the ominous specter of the chair's curse emerging. Across generations, the Busby Stoop chair sowed fear and dared the brave. The locals, gleefully coaxing others to sit, never ventured to tempt the curse themselves. Karen Rowley, a former landlady of the Busby Stoop Inn, recounted in 2007, managing the pub for 7 years, the locals remained fearful of the chair and its curse. I once glimpsed a towering, armless figure with an indistinct visage on the upstairs landing. It sidled sideways and vanished through the wall. I was utterly terrified. In 1894, a local chimney sweep and a companion imbibed at the Busby Stoop Inn. Exiting the pub late, having sat in Busby's chair, the chimney sweep slumbered by the roadside, only to be discovered next morning suspended from a gatepost by his neck, a grim inquest declaring suicide. Adjacent to the inn stands the historical Skipton on Swale Airfield, once home to 4 Royal Canadian Air Force squadrons during World War II. Airmen who dared sit in the Busby chair reportedly never returned from bombing missions over Germany. Tony Earnshaw, unperturbed initially, took ownership of the Busby Stoop Inn in 1968. The chair's curse, once dismissed as superstition, began to unnerve him as he observed a series of fatal incidents. Before becoming landlord, Earnshaw overheard 2 airmen from a local RAF base daring each other to occupy the chair. Both met their demise that very day in a car crash. Another tale involved a group of builders goading a young laborer to sit, only for him to later plummet to his death from a rooftop. Subsequent fatalities prompted Earnshaw to secure the chair in the cellar. In 1978, a brewery drayman sat in the chair during a delivery, extolling its comfort. Hours later, the delivery driver met a fatal accident. Earnshaw, disillusioned, implored Thirsk Museum to take the chair, under the promise it would never be sat upon again. The chair now graces the museum's wall, untouchable for over 4 decades. Cooper Harding, Thirsk Museum's manager, said back in 2007, "Respecting our benefactor's wishes is paramount. Despite numerous requests, we have steadfastly denied visitors the chance to sit in Busby's chair." Intrigue lingers. Is it truly a curse, or a clever deception? The chimney sweep's 1894 demise remained an enigma until his drinking companion's confession on his deathbed in 1914. Having pilfered the sweep's purse and left him bound to a fence, the partner met his own destitute end. Records of the Royal Canadian Air Force indicate a mere 1.65% aircraft loss during World War II, challenging the chair's malevolent legend. Today, the former Busby Stoop Inn, now a dwelling, stands at the junction of A61 and A167 roads. A pass sign depicted the Busby Stoop chair beside a mock gallows, emblematic of the inn's past. The History of York, published in 1858, and Kirby Wisk Parish records affirm the murder of Daniel Awetty in 1702. The burial of Awetty on June 7th of that year echoes these records. Unearthed parish documents hint at Christopher Shaw's role as Thomas Busby's accomplice. Shaw's, hanged for murdering D. Naughty, found his rest on August 4, 1702, within Thirsk Cemetery. Yet, formal records of the Busby Stoop chair and its famed curse are notably absent until the mid-20th century, leaving room for conjecture. Some speculate the chair may have emerged after 1840, a considerable 138 years post Thomas Busby's execution. Dr. Adam Boyd, esteemed furniture historian and past affiliate with the Victoria and Albert Museum, observed, the Busby Stoop chair, a castered chair type associated with craftsman John Shadford, emerged in the North Lincolnshire town of Caister between c.1843 and 1881. Whatever the origin of the Busby Stoop chair and its curse, the locals continue to believe to this day the old coaching inn is stalked by the sleepless spirit of Thomas Busby. The cursed chair is currently on display on the wall in Thirsk Museum in the county of North Yorkshire. Would you dare sit in Busby's chair?